Hello and welcome to CNN News 18 with me Ayushman Singh Jamwal. Our top story, India's wait for the title continues in the ICC World Cup. Australia win the ICC World Test Championship after beating India by 209 runs. Travis Head was named as the ICC Player of the Match for his brilliant 163-run first innings performance. Now, India has lost the WTC final. What went wrong is the key question. We want to open our phone lines for our viewers. What went wrong in the ICC final? Our phone lines are open. You can call us at 0120-434-1895. So that's the top story where we are trying to track what went wrong in the final. I'm joined by Srinivas, Group Sports Editor, Network 18, who's joining us live from the Oval in London. Thank you, Srinivas, for joining us on the broadcast. What do you think led to this Australian victory? How did the Indian House of Cards come crashing down? Would you chalk this up to bad luck, poor planning, or did the Aussies just wanted more?
No, I think it was a combination of everything. You started this conversation by saying what went wrong for India, and I'll add to it what did not go wrong. It was almost like Murphy at work. From the point of time that you first arrived at this ground, you saw the wicket. I remember the eve of the game, the morning of the one day before the test match began. Rohit Sharma says, looking at the pitch, he says, there's a green tinge here. It's a pacer's wicket. All right. Next morning, no matter how much of a pacer's wicket you get, he is the one to admit that oval traditionally is a wicket that tends to get slower. So basis on that, he should pick Ashwin. He doesn't. Basis on any test match rule, you win the toss, you bat first. He doesn't. He goes on to field first. He leaves out the highest wicket taker. Remember, Australia came with Nathan Lyon. We leave our number one spinner, number one wicket taker out of the 11. Going to a test match on a track as good as this one to bat, right? Which we saw. You lose the initiative. Poor captaincy from across the spells. First, forget the selection. I've already said that, Umesh Yadav did not need to go into this test match. Ashwin should have. That aside, and it's basic poor captaincy. I mean, you have fast bowler from one end. You don't have a fine leg supporting him. You don't have a leg slip. You don't have a third man. I mean, small mistakes like these, the way you rotate your attack, the amount of time, at the moment at which you brought Ravindra Jadeja into the attack, small things. All right, you let Australia run away with a very big total. In hindsight, that's where India lost the test match. Then you come into bat. Well, I mean, the same old story. I mean, I don't see any kind of resistance or any kind of defiance from this Indian batting lineup. And unfortunately, I think the bigger the name, the bigger the baggage that it gets. And that's what was the result of this test match.
Right. I'm joined by Monty Panesar, former England spinner, on the broadcast. Srinivas, please stay with us. Mr. Panesar, thank you for joining us on CNN News 18. How do you see the Australian victory in the WTC final? Were the Australians able to outfox the entire batting lineup?
Well, yeah, thanks for having me on the show. I think they probably maybe misread the pitch. I think they should have played two spinners, because Ashwin would have been a bigger threat against the left-handers against Australia. And Oval is a pitch where if you have lots of sunshine and like it was, two spinners would have been perfect for India. And I was just really surprised why they didn't play Ashwin. And on the first day, especially when that partnership of a double hundred partnership that they had with Travis Head, if Ashwin was there, he would have been perfect. He would have got a few wickets, troubled the left-handers. I think it would have been a different result.
Right. And Mr. Panesar, take us through because you're a cricket veteran, take us through the Australian bowling attack on the last day, because India started at 164 for 3. Then we lost the sixth wicket at 212. The target was 444. Then after the sixth wicket, the next 4 wickets fell down over 22 runs. Take us through the bowling attack of Australia. They decimated the entire lineup on day 5.
Yeah, well, the thing is, on day 5 pitch, you're going to get variable bounce. And the Australian bowlers are slightly taller, a bit more quicker. So they're going to get a bit more bounce and pace out of the pitch than maybe the Indian bowlers. And, the way they outfoxed Virat Kohli, Scott Boland, he bowled the ball, he nipped one in, back of a length. The second delivery was a slightly seamed away, back of a length, and then the third ball was really full, and then he chased it. And I think that was probably where Australia felt that if they can get Virat Kohli out in the first session, then they've got a chance of rolling India over. And unfortunately, that's what happened. But to be honest, this Test match was lost on the first day when in Australia won all the three sessions, and it's the bowling lineup of India. They didn't have any answers to the left-handers when the lacquer goes off the new ball. They didn't have a plan B, and I just really think they missed Ashwin. Ashwin would have been absolutely perfect on this pitch, and it's a huge question mark why he didn't play.
Right, so the huge question mark comes on Ashwin. Thank you, Mr. Panesar, for joining us on the broadcast. Let's get to our callers, ladies and gentlemen. I'm joined by Vamshi, who's calling us from Hyderabad. Vamshi, what do you think went wrong?
Yeah, actually, India should have a plan B, because when they started attacking, it went wrong. So they should have been thinking on defending, at least to draw the match instead of losing it by a huge total of more than 200 runs. And India should also consider Ravichandran Ashwin, because Australia had around 4 left-hand batsmen in the top 5. And I think, they should discuss on at least drawing the match instead of losing one in the World Test Champion final.
Right. I'm also joined by Jay Kumar from Mysore. Jay Kumar, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. What do you think went wrong?
Hi, thank you. And actually, my concern is the Indian team is now they're fit and fine to play only IPL. They're not even fit and fine to take up challenges and to perform as per their strength while playing international test cricket. Okay, right. So I'm disappointed, and that the selectors should check this, and they should need a revised team of India to take up test again, rather than having same team, same player for the test and 2020s will not work.
Right, so that's the pitch coming in from the Indian cricket fans, that we are not prepared for such kind of like big tournaments at the end of the day, right?